Raw on Netflix absolutely delivered tonight. From Finn and Damian, Laura and Dakota, the debut of Penta, Sheamus and Ludwig, this show was banger after banger after banger. Now, of course, based off the purple and the shirt, y'all know I have to start with Damian versus Finn. I'm a Damian girly, so yes, I am slightly biased when I call this the match of the night. However, I thoroughly enjoyed this match. And shout out to both Damian Priest and Finn Balor for going all out. Like, genuinely, for a second, I thought Finn was hurt. That broken arrow from the stands into the equipment on just a regular Raw, like, we don't see things like that often on just a regular Raw. Like, sure, they'll happen on PLEs, they'll happen every now and then for anniversaries, but this was just a regular, normal Raw, and they pulled out all the works. You had Finn and Damian beating each other from here to Timbuktu, all through the audience, all through the set. You have Carlito and JD coming out to help, which, did I miss him or was Dom not present? We'll circle back. We had the help from the War Raiders, the coup de grace onto Damian from on top of the ring into the table, the south of heaven into the table. Like, y'all, honestly, I'm almost sad that Damian won, because that means this feud is over. And don't get me wrong, I haven't been feeling it, honestly. I don't think they put as much time and effort into this feud as they could have. I have been wanting more from this feud because I knew that these two could absolutely deliver. And deliver they did. A part of me wishes Finn had won just so we could get one more match. Because obviously, this is why I say we need more stipulations. This is why I say we shouldn't just do plain regular matches. Give these people a chance to just go out there, beat the shit out of each other in any way, shape, or form, and see what they can do. I loved it. I loved it. 1,000 out of 10. No notes from me. I'm so sorry. But I do have to question, what is the next phase for both Damian and Finn? Where do they go now? With the Wyatt 6 moving to SmackDown, we'll also come back to that. We clearly won't get a Judgment Day breakup involving the Wyatt 6. Maybe it'll happen some other way, because I think at the very least, Dom and Liv are both done. And if Liv is done, Raquel is done. So I think Finn's going to be stuck with just JD soon, because of course his best friend is going to stick around. But what happens next with not only the Judgment Day, but Damian Priest? He can't insert himself into the World Heavyweight Championship unless we get a new champion, which possibly. He can't insert himself into the Intercontinental Championship because Braun has not only Ludwig Kaiser to deal with, but Sheamus. Where does Damian fit now? Where does Damian go next? I am hoping for a declaration from him for the Royal Rumble soon. Again, I'm a Damian girl, but I would genuinely love to see Damian in the Royal Rumble, see how many eliminations he can get. I very much doubt he would win, but I'ma still ride with Damian anyway, you know. As for Finn and the Judgment Day, I was really hopeful for a breakup and for a feud involving the Wyatt 6. That's obviously not going to happen because they're going to SmackDown. But as I mentioned earlier, I don't think Dom was present tonight when Finn was being stretchered out. Like, y'all, that man was being stretchered out in the middle of a street fight. Damian pushed that stretcher back down and they kept on fighting. He ripped a neck brace off of him. Are they okay? These two, they're not saying. They are not saying. Honestly, quick sidebar, I'm really fucking with the purple, y'all. I know I'm a pink girl at heart, but this purple is eating. Okay. All right. Back to the story, right? With everything that's been going on, do we think Dom has finally had enough? Will we finally see Dom as a singles competitor? I thought the Judgment Day would bring us this breakup, but it's not looking like it. So how do we get Finn and JD? Because clearly JD is going to stay with him, right? How do we get those two away from everyone else? What's going to happen there? Because there's obviously There's tension between Finn and Liv. There's tension between Dom and Liv. There's about to probably be tension between Finn and Dom. Here's the thing. While Finn did tell Dom not to come help him, if he was on a stretcher, he's probably going to be like, why didn't you come help? Why didn't you come try to help me? Like, I was hurt. I was injured. Obviously not if you got up and kept fighting, no, right? I'm just very curious about where not only both parties go, but where the Judgment Day is going next. Which, speaking of the Wyatt Six, they're on SmackDown. You just move them to SmackDown. There's no real end to the Final Testament, and most importantly, I don't get to see Nikki Cross versus Scarlett in a WWE ring televised. Oh, this is sick. I felt like this was our one true chance to get Scarlett back in the ring. We obviously know she's fine. She's not injured or anything. She's been working the house show, so I don't understand why she's not wrestling on TV. But I guess it's not happening. Who do we think the Wyatt Six is going to target first? Now, I did just get off a live with the Fem Slam, and there were really two major groups brought up. One, which was what I was thinking of, was the Bloodline, because Solo, there's a Wyatt behind you. Solo. But would they go for Solo or would they go for Roman? Because you could really go either way. Like, yeah, Solo broke up the family, but Roman traumatized the family. He ruined the family. He hurt the family. Solo would have never had to do what he did if Roman wouldn't have done what he done. And y'all know rights and wrongs, so I don't think Roman did anything wrong. I'm lying, but I don't see anything. I don't see nothing. What are you talking about? What wrong? But I would really like to see who the Wyatts go off with next. There's clearly not a female member in the Bloodline for them to go after, so this other option seems more plausible. I have to give shouts to my brother 215, not ER, because he brought up Legado del Fantasma and how Santos Escobar was the one who turned on Rey Mysterio originally. It seems like a good idea that the Wyatt Six would go target them, because also there's Elektra and there's Nikki. You know? I don't know. I do think that's a very plausible idea. So y'all let me know down in the comments. Do you think the Wyatts are going after Legado del Fantasma? You think they're going after the Bloodline? Or do you think they'll pick some other group to target first? Or some other individual even to go after first? As for the World Heavyweight Championship picture, we officially know Gunther's next contender. And it is none other than the main event himself, Jey Uso. I'm so excited for him, but I'm also so nervous, because Jey and Gunther are officially main eventing Saturday Night Main Event for the World Heavyweight Champion. And Jey told us at the very start of 2025 that he was grabbing a World Heavyweight Championship. Is January 25th the night he pulls it off? I think it would be very interesting to see Jey get the title off of Gunther, because once again, Gunther has got his confidence back. Gunther has got his aura back. He's feeling himself again. He really thinks he's that guy again. He is. Don't get it twisted. He definitely is. But he's definitely feeling himself once again in a way that Damian had him questioning back during their feud. So I have to wonder if he truly realizes the threat that Jey Uso can really be to him. In tonight's promo, Jey Uso threw everything that y'all have said about him over the last few months right back in y'all face and said, now what, bitch? Like, y'all told that man he couldn't cut a promo without yeet. He did. Y'all told that man he couldn't give emotion when he cut a promo. He did. Y'all told that man he couldn't talk on the mic. He did. Now what y'all gonna come up with? Like, what are you gonna say now? What more could you possibly say other than, maybe I should give Jey Uso a try? So I don't know. If I don't even want to talk about the if Jey doesn't win, because I don't want to put that into the air. I would love to see Jey hold gold again. For the people who are saying, oh, I don't see Jey as World Heavyweight Champion material, you didn't see Damian Priest as World Heavyweight Championship material either. I know I will be the first one to say, as much as I love Damian now, he won me over with his World Heavyweight Champion reign. Sometimes I do think it takes us seeing these people in those positions for us to truly see what they're made of, for us to truly see who they are. And I definitely think Jey Uso could carry as a World Heavyweight Champion. He has the ability, he has the skill, But does WWE trust him to actually give him the big goal? I hope so. I hope so for his sake. I was wanting to see him get his title back off Braun because let's be real, Braun Breaker ain't doing nothing with it anyway. But I'm okay with Gunther. Hey, it could be interesting because Gunther could very much underestimate him just like a majority of the WWE audience is. And since I brought up Braun Breaker, can we talk about that Sheamus and Ludwig match? First of all, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised those two put on in such an amazing match. However, I would be lying to you if I told you I don't need Sheamus holding that Intercontinental Championship. It is the only one he's missing. I need that man to get this title soon, quickly. I can't help but wonder if they're not doing too much with Braun now because they are planning to end his reign. And if that's the case, I'm very disappointed for him because they didn't really do much with him this time. Like, yeah, he's been in this Sheamus Ludwig vortex for a minute, which is fine because they put on great matches. It's been a great feud. But outside of his one match at, what was that, War Games? I believe it was War Games where he fought both of them. Outside of that triple threat match, what other thing has he done since he got the title back off of Jey Uso? Exactly. And I think even Braun deserves better than that. Like, that boy can go. I've told y'all, that last match, that triple threat match actually was the one that had me sitting there like, maybe I should give him a chance, actually. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's next. I am hopeful that this match will happen at Rumble as opposed to Saturday Night Main Event. I think it's very weird that we have two shows back to back, and I understand Saturday Night Main Event is not a PLE, but to have an actual big major PLE, one of your big four PLEs, right after a Saturday Night Main Event where titles can be put on the line, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm very confused. Gonna add this in now because I did just check the WWE Twitter page, X page. Bruh, it's Twitter, okay? I'm old. I'm gonna say Twitter. And it looks like Sheamus versus Braun Breaker is gonna happen on Saturday Night Main Event and not on Rumble. So I guess we'll see how that goes and which one of them will end up being in the Rumble when they lose. So I don't know because all of these men who are involved with these matches right now could end up declaring for the Royal Rumble. And y'all know I'm a Royal Rumble girly, so I have to talk about how not only do we have John Cena, not only do we have Roman Reigns, not only do we have Seth Rollins, not only do we have Drew McIntyre, not only do we have LA Knight, we also have CM Punk. This is truly shaping up to be one of the best Rumbles we've seen in a while. I'm really trying not to, you know what? Fuck that. I'm lying. I am already overly excited. You really can't tamper my excitement for Royal Rumble. Again, I am a Royal Rumble girl. It is my favorite PLE of the entire year. Yes, for me, it is bigger than Mania. I understand what Mania is. This one is my favorite. This is the one that I have only ever missed Rumble once. And I was mad as hell the whole time. I was very upset. I couldn't even stay on social media because I needed to know what happened. And I never went and watched that Rumble back because I ruined it by seeing who won. But actually, I haven't done that with Mania either. Like, I don't even, if you call me while Royal Rumble is on, I'm not picking up the phone. It's not happening. You won't talk to me. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So to see all of these guys, the first Rumble John Cena's been in a while. The second Rumble that CM Punk will be in since he returned. The first Rumble that Roman Reigns will be a part of since 2020. I'm so ready. I'm so excited for this match card. I do have more Rumble videos coming soon. Just give me a minute. I'm getting there. I promise y'all. I just think this will overall be such an amazing show. This Rumble, it has so much potential because all of these men not only have someone they dislike, but they have a lot of enemies. Roman obviously has the most, but Drew McIntyre has a lot of enemies. Seth Rollins has a lot of enemies, more so in the sense of like they just don't like him, but CM Punk has a lot of enemies. John Cena's gonna have everyone gunning for him because he is the guy. He is on his farewell tour. You want to be the one who stops him in his tracks. You want to be the one who ruins his mania dreams, who ruins the dreams of the 17th world title. I'm excited. I am extremely excited and I cannot wait. We also crowned our new inaugural women's champion tonight in Laura Vicaria. And you know what? I'm very happy for Laura and I'm so sad for Dakota. Those women put on an amazing match, even if it was a tad bit too short. I'm watching y'all. And also, why was it once again the only women's match on the card? What are we doing, H? H, what we doing? Put the women in the ring and let them fight. Please and thank you. Either way, I really enjoyed that match. I felt like both women did an amazing job. They went out there and truly fought. You could see that you could see them putting their blood, sweat, and tears. They left it all on the table. Like every ounce of energy they had went into that match. And I thought it was very beautiful in the end of Dakota hugging Lyra. It was a very beautiful moment. I'm so glad for Lyra, like I said. I am very hopeful for Dakota. Her time will come because she has been putting in work. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, just because she's been there for a while doesn't mean she deserves it. And I would say that if she wasn't putting in work, she's trying. She's getting out there. She put some great matches. Yes, she's had a few injuries and a few things that have derailed her career, but Dakota can go. And I think tonight showed it. I'm very hopeful, and I probably shouldn't be, that we will do this title justice and give the women the booking that they deserve for this title. Which, speaking of the women, the purple still fixed because we got to see our new women's world champion, Miss Rhea Bloody Ripley, in the ring tonight, even though she didn't even get a chance to do much. You know, she was ready to address us, ready to tell us how she's going to be an amazing champion. And Nia decided to come out, and I'm guessing she's on Raw now, possibly, maybe. The transfer portal is open, and so it makes sense for some women and men to be crossing paths and going over to the other brands. And it's looking like Nia is trying to run it back with Rhea. Now, I don't know how I feel about this entirely. Number one, though, all of these women tonight looked good. Nia came out, and I was like, baby, you better. But Nia just lost the title. Shouldn't she be trying to get her match with Tiffy back again? No? Okay. All right. And then Bayley got involved, and she's number one contender for Tiffany's title already. We don't have any other women. As a matter of fact, are we going to act like Rhea didn't come save Io and that they both weren't holding that women's title at the end of a Raw not too long ago? I have questions. We'll see, because I'm really ready to see where Rhea's reign takes us this time. I just want great storylines and great wrestling. That's all I can really hope for. And I'm really curious to see where Liv ends up next also, because it does not seem like she has any plans of going back against Rhea. I believe at one point she said that the Liv Revenge tour is kind of over because she did everything she set out to do, and she took every single thing Rhea Ripley had away from her. There's not really much more for her to do to Rhea. So personally, I definitely see Liv and Raquel going after Bianca and Naomi for those women's tag team championships. I do. I do. They have held them twice now, I believe, and both times they had to drop due to injuries, or they lost due to injuries. I believe the first time they may have dropped, and the second time they lost. But please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I can't remember the first one fully. But I believe Liv had the shoulder injury first, and the second time was Raquel's leg when Rhea attacked her. But like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. But it's just things that make you go, So I definitely think that's what's next on our list for Liv and Raquel. Now, I saved this part for the end because I know a lot of people are going to be talking about this. Penta officially debuted, and I think having him fight against Chad Gable was the best decision they could have possibly made. Why? Because Chad Gable can go. And while they have two completely different wrestling styles, you got to see that those two styles merge and create such a beautiful, great match. I did mention in our Film Slam Live, if you missed that, make sure you following us on Twitter or X now, since TikTok's about to disappear. I did mention that I was going to reserve my full judgment of Penta until I've seen more of him. I do not watch AEW. I've said that before. It's nothing against AEW. It's just, baby, that's a lot of wrestling to watch all week. Okay, that's every single day. That's no breaks. Baby is tired. Baby edits on the days that WWE doesn't come on. Okay, but I do plan to watch at least one episode really soon, just to see if I can like fully immerse myself into it. I say all that to say this was my very first time seeing Penta. This was my very first impression of Penta, and I'm impressed. I am impressed. Even my baby brother, who is not a wrestling fan, just so happened to come into my room while I was watching, and both of us kind of went, ugh, at certain points. I believe it was the Destroyer. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Like, cause y'all, like I said, I don't know, and I may have misheard, I may be forgetting, but there were several moves that Penta did that had me flinching and cringing for Chad Gable, because I'm like, yo, that must hurt. He had an amazing entrance. I think his entrance is beautiful. It's full of energy. It's full of personality. He is full of personality. I'm very intrigued. Penta has my attention. Like I said, I'm going to give it a few more matches before I give my full thoughts on Penta as a whole. But I can see that he is very well loved. He will very much be over, and he is very good in the ring. Completely have to shout out Chad Gable, because he gave as good as he got, and Chad and Penta had an amazing match. It was a great way to start off Raw and give us a feel of what we could expect. Now, when I compare it to last week's Raw, I'm kind of torn, because y'all know my two guys. I had Damian on one and Roman on the other. I do think that this week kind of edged it out a little bit. I did really enjoy last week's Raw, but there was just this special, that little extra some that this week's Raw had. And so I need to see what they do next week. Are we going to be able to continue to put out good content on Netflix? And while we do that, can we make sure we focus on SmackDown too? Like, don't put all the good energy into Raw, because this past SmackDown was kind of, you know. It was a great show. It was a great night. I very much also like the flexibility they have with Raw, that tonight was a 2.5 hour match, and they can just, if they need the full third hour, they have it. And if they don't have to use it. I like that. I enjoy that. Let's make sure we utilize that. Oh, y'all, I cannot believe I almost forgot this, but we did get The Miz versus Sami Zayn. Why? I don't know, but we got it. And I don't really have much to say. If you know me, you know I love Miz. I've been watching Miz most of my life. I've watched Miz since MTV's The Challenge. Not Real World, because I didn't see his season of The Real World, but The Challenge. I remember when he was first dubbed The Miz. Okay, I've been locked in with Michael for years. However, it was just okay. Sammy did what he needed to do. I swear to God, he kicked Miz so hard his face went to the other side of the country. Okay. But that's about it. Like, it was a good match. It was a quick match. It was a filler match, and I hate to say that, because these are two great competitors, but anyway. So WWE has already started listing off things that are going to happen next week. We for sure have Drew versus Seth. We have the New Day returning to action, and I'm very curious to see who they're fighting, which possibly someone in Rey Mysterio's camp, possibly some LWO members. And it looks like John Bradshaw Layfield is coming back. Like, ain't that man been all around the world in the indie scene lately? Like, what in the world is he doing? I'm curious to see what he has to say. All right, y'all know the drill by now. Let me know down in the comments how you were feeling about tonight's Raw. What was your favorite moment? What was your least favorite moment? What are you looking forward to seeing next week? And as a special one, who would you like to see Penta go up against next? What feuds are you looking forward to seeing out of Penta? Thank y'all for watching yet again. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel if you're not already. Give me a like and turn on the post notifications so you see when I post. But for now, bye guys.